We are often told that success is a direct result of effort, but every morning, millions of people walk home exhausted, having put in 12-hour shifts of back-breaking labor only to remain exactly where they started. Thomas is one of them. At 32, he works as a night security guard. He spends his nights walking miles on patrol and his mornings trying to sleep in a cramped room where the power occasionally fails. Despite his discipline and his physical stamina, his bank account never grows. He is hitting a wall that many never identify. He is expending massive, draining effort, but because that effort is applied entirely to labor that only maintains his current situation, he remains stationary. High energy, zero mobility. There is a divide between two types of effort. Survival work is the loop on the left, trading your time and health strictly to cover your bills. Foundational work on the right is time spent building skills or assets that increase your baseline value. Thomas is working hard, but he's trapped entirely in the loop. His schedule makes escaping this loop almost impossible. He sleeps through the daylight hours when businesses are open and the world is active. By the time he wakes up, he has just enough time to eat before heading back to the warehouse. The situation turns critical when his mother collapses from the stress of her own labor. The doctor's orders are simple but expensive: rest and medication. Thomas realizes that his current pace isn't just exhausting, it's failing the people who depend on him. He lacks the credentials for a corporate role, and after 10 hours on his feet, his brain is too foggy to study. He has the desire to change, but he has no window of time where his mind is fresh enough to actually learn. This is the structural trap. When survival consumes 100% of your cognitive energy, you have nothing left to invest in the foundation of your future. While traveling back from the clinic, Thomas meets Mr. Chen, a successful local shop owner. Chen explains that his own trajectory changed only when he claimed the hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. as sacred time. This window is unique because of how your biology resets. At 5 a.m., your willpower is at its peak. The world is silent. There are no phone calls, no social obligations, and no mental clutter. To see the value, look at the raw numbers. 2 hours every morning creates massive accumulation. Weekly, those sessions add up to 14 hours. Over a year, this totals 730 hours. That is 91 8-hour workdays. You manufacture a 13th month of productivity. This isn't a motivational trick, it's a mathematical advantage. It provides the time necessary to move from survival into foundational building. Thomas decides to apply this system. From 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., he focuses exclusively on learning high-value skills. He chooses Excel and basic bookkeeping, technical skills his current employer desperately needs to manage their messy warehouse inventory. From 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., he prepares his body and mind. He walks his neighborhood to get his blood flowing and plans his evening shift, ensuring he remains sharp despite the schedule change. To make this work, he has to set a hard boundary. He must be in bed by 9 p.m. If he tries to cut into his sleep, the quality of his study hour will drop, and the entire system will fail. The first 3 weeks are an intense physical struggle. His body violently aches for the comfort of the old routine, and his mind creates every possible excuse to stay under the blankets. This is the friction that stops most people. But around day 20, something deep in his biology clicks. He begins waking up moments before the alarm. The resistance he felt in the first week is replaced by a sense of momentum. By pushing through that initial period of discomfort, he transforms the early wake-up from a daily battle into a subconscious habit. After 90 days of consistent study, Thomas builds an automated inventory tracker for the warehouse. It solves a specific recurring problem his supervisor had been struggling with for months: lost shipments and inaccurate counts. Because Thomas understands the warehouse floor better than any outside hire and now possesses the technical skill to organize it, the manager moves him into a bookkeeping role. It's an internal promotion that pays more because he is now providing a higher level of value than a simple patrol. This change allows him to move his mother to a better apartment and cover her medical expenses. The pressure that was crushing his family begins to lift. This shift wasn't a stroke of luck. It was the result of 90 days of work that his peers never even knew he was doing. Thomas started with almost no resources. If you are watching this, you likely have access to the same free tools he used. The only variable is the time you are willing to reclaim. Here is the protocol. First, set your alarm tonight for exactly 5 a.m. and place your phone on the other side of the room. This forces you to physically get out of bed to silence it. Second, identify one specific skill that could increase your value in your current field or a new one. Commit your first hour to that, and only that, for 90 days. Third, protect your 9 p.m. bedtime. Turn off the screens and the streaming services. You are trading a few hours of nightly entertainment for a lifetime of leverage. In the quiet of the early morning, while the rest of the world is still dreaming, you have the opportunity to decide exactly what your future will look like. That choice begins tomorrow at 5 a.m.